What's going on? So today, I know from the last video that I put up about guessing how much you think my equipment worth. Um, a lot of people were like, guessing and all that. But anyways, thank you guys for at least even trying to be a part of just answering the question. It was kind of fun. But yeah, today I just thought I would show you guys some of the lenses that I use um, so far. And so I counted all the lenses that I have so far. There are 12. And I mean, of course, you to be honest, you don't need that much, but you always want more as a filmmaker. So, anyways, so the first lens that I have here, it's a Canon um, uh, 10 to 18. So it's a wide angle. So what this does is if you have a scene like an establishing shot you want to get, this is like really good for that. And also this has image stabilize image stabilization in it, so if your hand gets shaky, this will definitely eliminate most of that. So this is like a really good option, and it's fairly cheap. You can look it up. I don't want to give you wrong prices because I got these years now, and it's been a while, so I won't say too much about pricing today. um the second lens that I have here is actually from Sony. Oh, sorry, for Tamron, but I use this with a Sony. So it's a 28 to 75 mm. So this is more of to um a wide to a portrait, if I can say that. This is like really good for portrait. Get some like details, close-up shot of your subject. It's also really good for photography because it's f2.8, and if you know what that number means, it's just your aperture. So it's just telling you how much you can open your aperture. Yeah, really good lens, really sharp. I mean, I might later in the future do a video for each lenses, but for now, like I said, I just want to show you guys all my lenses. So that's that. I have these by the way, I love vintage lenses. So this is one that I picked up. This is a Canon. It's a macro f, let me see, I forgot. I think it's an FD lens. uh it's 1.35. Actually, to be honest, I'm not even sure now, but this is like, because it's a macro lens, it's really good for like getting super close up of, like, maybe you want to film something this close, so this would be a good option. Or you want to shoot like close up to the eyes, this is a really good option. um yeah, and also because it's a vintage lens, it definitely will have some character to it. So I don't normally use it a lot, but just to get some really nice detailed shot, this is like really good. And it wasn't too pricey, I'll be honest, because it's a vintage lens. um Probably, man, I don't even remember the pricing now. Okay, let's leave that. And also, yeah, I just remembered now, I also had to get a converter for this to work with my camera now, because like I said, it's a vintage lens, so the mount is FD. So FD is not the same mount that your new cameras have now, so you have to keep that in mind for that. um this is a 50 mm Sony f 1.8. That's like a really wide aperture. um so have you ever wondered, how you get like your subject and you have like really blurry background? this is really good for that. But and also because it's a 50 mm, this is like really good for close-ups and really blurry. But this has some little downside to it, like it it takes a long time for you to like focus if you're like trying to get a man of focus and stuff like that. And also because it's at f1.8, sometimes it could be really hard for you to get your focus. But really good lens, to have. And it's not that expensive as well, probably in like 200 to 300 bucks, I would say. What do I have next? So that's a Sony 50. This is a Canon 50. I had this, I think this was one of the first lenses that I got, and this is an amazing lens. It's a 50, like I said. It has both manual and uh an automatic, what's it called, automatic focus. So right on the lens. So it's a really good lens as well. 50, not too pricey, about 2 to 300 bucks. I'm sure every independent filmmaker, they always make sure they have this in their pocket, in their bag rather. So yeah, so everything I said about the Sony, just imagine the Canon is just pretty much same thing. um this, I won't lie, I've never used it, even though I have it. It's a Pantex. Oh my god, just look at that. Look at that. It's just amazing. I love vintage lenses. So this, the reason why I haven't used it is I picked it up and I haven't found a converter that I'll be able to use it with my newer camera that I have. So it's I'm trying to see if I can find the, I think it's a 2.8. Yeah, the aperture is a 2.8 right there. So yeah, so it can definitely go wide open. uh yeah, so you can see, let me open it wide if you can see what I see. So really good lens, but I'm still here to try. Like I said, I think it was actually a little bit expensive, but can't really remember. um this, it's a Canon 18 to 55 mm. It has image stabilization. It also has macro, but I think this was one of my kit lenses. So so this came actually with my camera when I got it. And yeah, I mean, pretty good, but I think the only downside to it is it changes focal length. And it's a one one to 3.5 to 5.6. So meaning when you're changing your aperture, uh sorry, when you're changing what's it called, your shutter speed and whatever, the aperture would change. So it's not a fixed aperture. So you have to keep that in mind with most of the kit lenses. They don't always come with one constant aperture. So that's one downside to it. But it's really good for wide to close up, because it's 18 is pretty wide, and 55 you get closer. So that's not a bad one. um I have these Nikkon. So it's a vintage lens. It's a 3.5. But it's macro. I mean, look at this glass. Oh god, vintage lenses are just the shit. Permit my language, but oh, god, I've actually used this like twice, and well, I don't really know what to say, but yeah, it's another good option, and because it's vintage, definitely has some character to it. Let me see, this thing's metal, like, what else do I have there? These, to be honest, I think I won't say it's as good as useless, but no. You know, it might still have its own use. It's just all these like really it's from Canon, by the way, and it's a 75 to 300. That's the longest lens. See, that's the longest lens. But unfortunately, the aperture is like, it's so small. So yeah, the f-stop is so small. I think it's a, I don't know why I'm finding this out. It's not even written here. But it's probably like 5.6 or something funny. And because of how long it is, the few times I tried using this lens, trust me, my hands and everything just like shaking like crazy. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If you know your hand shakes a lot, use more wide angles lenses if it doesn't have inbuilt stabilization or if your camera doesn't. So yeah, I don't really use it, but yeah, I have it. This is another bad boy right here. It's a vintage lens. I mean, look at that. So the good thing with this is it also changes to a macro. I can't remember how to convert it to a macro, but there's a way. Let me see. This way it says macro here. So right here it becomes macro. It's a 2.8. The f-stop is 2.8, which is really good. So it means it would open wide, and yeah, it's also a sorry, I'm trying to put back the cover. Oh man, such a pain in the ass. Okay, so this goes from 70 to 210, and the f-stop is constant, so that's good. And because it's also a vintage lens, it also has a character to it, so that's good. And yeah, I think I'm almost done. So I have this is the Sigma f2.8, 17 to 50. So that's really good for wide to close up. This lens is a bad boy because since I got it, I've been using it so much. I don't know if you've heard about Sigma lenses. They're really good, especially the hard lenses. I don't have one because they're like pretty pricey, but yeah, it's a really good one. As you can see, it's on my camera to let you know how much I use it. And another last not but the least is another Nikkon. It's a vintage lens as well. As you can tell, once you see one on my camera, should tell you how much I use it a lot. Yeah, this one is a 24 mm. It's a prime lens, so that means it doesn't zoom. So mind you, all the lenses that don't have zoom, they are called prime lenses, and the ones that have zoom are called the zoom lenses. So yeah, this is a prime. It's 2.8 as well, so it like really, you won't believe I actually shot a whole music video using just this lens, and I had to do my focusing manually, and it was just amazing, just such an amazing lens. And that's pretty much it, guys. My last lens, that's either 12 or 11. I can't remember what the number I said on my lenses are. One of my lenses and one of my cameras with Almighty Gandu. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I don't see any other lens laying around, but that's all the lenses that I have. I just thought I would show you guys. I hope this video was informative as much as possible. If you do have any question, don't forget you can always put in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to respond to you guys. And oh yeah, I know you might be asking how I was able to like acquire all this equipment. To be honest with you, this wasn't like yesterday. This is over the years. I started, I think the first camera I bought was like in 2015. So you can imagine from then to now, this is 2020. So it's been a while, it's been a journey. And uh, for the most part, a lot of times, most of the equipment I starve myself, not necessarily food, but like clothes, shoes, things that a normal dude would want to get. Instead of buying those things, I rather get camera equipment because that's something I'm really passionate about. So it's really up to you. If it's how much you dedicate to whatever you're passionate about, you would always come back. So that's just my advice for you guys. If you're thinking maybe I'm some rich ass kid, I'm not. This is just getting, being very focused as far as what I want. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.